Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It is Thursday, September 14th.
We're going to check in now with First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi, who is going to tell us exactly what we can expect today with our First Alert forecast. And John, I ran into some showers already this morning.
And I think that's probably sent some shivers down a couple of people's spines out there this morning as those showers moved on through, because at times there were some periods of some moderately heavy rain. It's all right. Those showers are going to be fast moving. They're going to be few and far between. And yes, we do have a chance over the next several days of seeing those showers. But any appreciable rise to the rivers by those showers, probably not in the forecast. We're looking right now at some pretty nice conditions out there on our Van Wezel webcam. We did have some of those passing showers move through Manatee County and down south, too, toward areas of Venice during the overnight. Right now, we got some cloud cover out in Gulf waters and some more intense shower and thunderstorm activity way out in the Gulf, but I don't think that's really headed our way. Some of the cloud cover might, and that would be a good thing, as it will be a warm day today. And a little bit more cloud cover, better chances of rain, about a 30% chance as we head through the afternoon, and daytime highs topping out near the 90-degree mark. We'll talk about that in just a few. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, John. Florida Power and Light crews are working around the clock to get power outages restored. Right now, 40% of FPL customers are still without power. In Manatee County, more than 42,000 customers, and in Sarasota County, more than 66,000 customers remain without power.
Well, this morning, President Trump will get his first look at the devastation from Hurricane Irma right here in Florida.
He is flying to Fort Myers in a few hours to meet with first responders and FEMA. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick is in Fort Myers now, and she joins us now live. Hello, Jess.
Good morning, Stephanie and Jacqueline. I'm live at the Southwest Florida International Airport in Fort Myers, where President Trump is expected to land in about an hour and a half, and he will not be alone. Vice President Mike Pence will be with him, along with First Lady Melania Trump. Their plans are to travel to Naples and to see the areas affected directly by Hurricane Irma. The trip comes just hours after President Trump expanded his major disaster declaration for Florida to include individual assistance for counties including DeSoto and Hardee. Manatee and Sarasota already included in the plan. The money will reimburse local communities and the state government that are aiding in response and recovery after the storm. President Trump said in a tweet yesterday that they will be meeting with the Coast Guard, FEMA, and first responders to observe the response to the damage. He will stop in Naples and in Fort Myers. There's mixed feelings today about his visit to the area.
I understand he's got to do it for political reasons. I understand this man is practicing to be a politician. We didn't elect him because he's a politician. We elected him to be not a politician. And if he's going to come down here and pick up a shovel, that'd be great. We'd love to see you then, okay? But don't mess up the cleanup operation.
This will be a quick visit for the Trump administration. They're scheduled to land here around 10:30 in Fort Myers, and then they will get back on the plane around 1:30 to head back to the White House. Reporting live in Fort Myers, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. There appears to be some better news this morning for those dealing with flooding from the Myakka River in Venice. The National Weather Service is reporting that the river appears to have crested at just above 10 feet, but that is at Myakka River State Park, and then will slowly start to recede today. However, residents downriver in Venice are still very concerned and watching the river closely. Heavy rains 2 weeks ago, in addition to rain from Irma, have kept those residents on edge.
And flooding in Arcadia is leaving a damaging mark on that area, and now one couple is calling it the last straw, saying it may be time to leave the Sunshine State. Irma's rain overwhelmed the Peace River, pushing it and its tributaries over their banks and into people's homes. Zach Beasley and his girlfriend just moved into their rental home a few months ago, but they've already flooded twice, getting ankle-deep water during the Suncoast heavy rainfall 2 weeks ago and over 2 feet after Irma.
Everything we have is here. I love Florida. I mean, I'm 21. I've been raised right here. I've never lived out of the state of Florida. I love it, but the weather is getting, I don't know, more than we can handle.
I don't know, this is heartbreaking. You know, I love it out here. It's quiet. I have all the land, my barn, everything. It's just everything I've ever wanted as, you know, a horse owner.
For now, the best way to get back to their property is by a high truck or a boat. They're now spending time sorting through what they can as they wait for that water to subside.
You can't blame them for being discouraged. Well, an update now this morning out of Hollywood, Florida, where criminal investigators are looking into the deaths of 8 nursing home residents.
As Thomas Lamas tells us, Irma knocked out power and the heat was too much for some seniors.
This morning, investigators are trying to figure out how 8 residents from this nursing home ended up dying following a power problem 3 days after Hurricane Irma hit Florida. Police and fire rescue evacuating 170 people, several suffering from dehydration and heat exhaustion.
The facility called and said that incidents were occurring. Something's going on in the center, unknown how many patients or their injuries.
Seniors taken out on their beds, in wheelchairs during the mass exodus. One of those victims, Carolyn Earthley, 78 years old.
She was fun. She had a very good sense of humor. I feel like she could have lived on. This extreme condition caused this.
Families of residents desperate for any information. Amber Mickles came looking for her 94-year-old great-grandmother.
Right now, we don't know where she is, though.
Did they tell you that the power was out or that they had power issues or AC issues? Did you ever get notified?
No.
The deaths now under criminal investigation. The nursing home right across the street from Memorial Regional Hospital, a major healthcare facility.
The hospital is across the street. Why weren't they taken there?
That is part of our investigation, and who knew what, when.
Overnight, the nursing home administrator, George Carballo, releasing a statement saying they diligently prepared for the impact of Hurricane Irma and that they didn't lose power, but a transformer powering the AC went down. So, staff set up mobile cooling units and fans to cool the facility.
You went inside. How hot did it feel inside?
It felt like 110, 115 degrees in there.
Could you see the suffering?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
This morning, Senator Marco Rubio is calling for a federal review into those nursing home deaths in Hollywood. In a tweet, the Florida Republican wrote, asking CMS Gov to review whether Florida nursing home with 8 tragic deaths was in violation of any federal regulations. CMS Gov refers to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, which is part of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. 3 agencies have already launched investigations into what happened, while Governor Scott ordered an emergency moratorium to prevent the rehabilitation center at Hollywood Hills from admitting any new patients.
Well, as tens of thousands on the Suncoast remain without power this morning, community centers and churches are now opening their doors.
Well, for many, a cool place to be in the air conditioning is one of their greatest wishes. ABC 7's Linda Carson is at one of these comfort centers. Linda, what exactly does a comfort center provide?
Oh, for one thing, air conditioning, Stephanie. I haven't had electricity since this storm started, and walking into this air conditioning at Robert L. Taylor was wonderful this morning. Now, they are working. Florida Power and Light is out there. You'll see their trucks all around. They're working to restore it as fast as they possibly can. But for those of us who have not had electricity for many days now, and that refrigerator is beginning to smell really bad, it just can't come enough. So you need fast enough. So you need to get out here and just get some relief. Robert L. Taylor is opening as a comfort center at 8 o'clock this morning till 8 o'clock tonight. Joining me now is the manager of Robert L. Taylor, Arthur Larkins. Arthur, you don't have electricity at home either.
I do not, but that's the least of our worries. We've been able to make some changes for my family and get everybody in recovery. And it's great for us here at Robert L. Taylor Community Complex to be able to kind of get together with the county and give these guys a good, cool place to come in and recover and get food, get some fuel, and get back out there and recover, because we were shifting now from emergency operations to recovery and cleanup. And these guys are going to be out there, and even though the sun is not shining very bright, it's still hot and taxing on your body.
Well, now tell me, anybody in the community can come into this comfort station. What will you find here?
You will find that we have water, we'll have snacks, and we'll have even MREs for people who don't have any food at home to eat and things like that will need some food. But hopefully they'll just find a little bit of comfort. Is what we're for. And you know what? You can charge your cell phone. That's one thing I've missed at my house. And you can watch TV. Oh my goodness, there we are over there. Amazing. This is a great place. You've got great entertainment. And everybody is welcome here. Yes. We really open it up for the county workers to be able to come in that are going into recovery and things like that. But we're not going to turn anyone away that comes in and says, hey, we're hot at home and can we sit down a few minutes and take in some air and get a bottle of water and maybe even a snack?
That sounds really good. And there are going to be stations open all over the county. They're going to open at Church of the Palms, Temple Sinai, Unity, Longboat Key, Northport, Inglewood, and Venice. You can go on our website and find out exactly where those locations are. It is such a joy to be here. Back to you guys. I'm just as comfortable as you are now, Jacqueline and Stephanie.
All right, thank you, Linda. Hope you are enjoying that air conditioning. Well, Sarasota County Public Utilities is asking customers in areas without power to please limit their water usage. This includes toilet flushing, clothes washing, dishwashing, and other activities that contribute to the sewer system flows. Numerous lift stations are down, and until power is restored, overusage of water in these areas may cause sewage to overflow. In fact, the Fairway Woods Community Sewage Lift Station did fail, spewing gallons of raw waste into the area. Without power, the station was unable to handle the community sewage, which has accumulated over the past several days. Sarasota County officials responded to the leak by installing a temporary generator to supply power to the lift station. Currently, Sarasota County has 91 lift stations without power.
It's such an accumulation of things, you know, that snowballs down when the power is out as much as it is. Well, still to come in your Suncoast news, with people across the Suncoast displaced after Hurricane Irma, several local groups are coming together to bring them some relief.
We'll tell you how the Red Cross and area churches are hoping to help storm victims get their lives back on track when we come back.
Oh, look! A bouquet of lump-livered drolls.
We went to a real school to show that bullying should be history.
You monkey-elbowed pockmarks. What a bunch of beef-witted pig nuts.
On Monday, October 2nd, let's all stand up for World Day of Bullying Prevention by rocking a blue shirt. Together, let's make bullying a thing of the past. Go blue and get your blue shirt at stompoutbullying.org.
We asked our customers, why is Consumer Cellular your choice in wireless?
Consumer Cellular helps me save money. It's simple and easy.
It is reliable.
I like the fact that there are no contracts.
By moving to Consumer Cellular, my cost is 50% less than it was.
They fit the plan to you.
I have everything I want with Consumer Cellular.
Their customer service is fabulous.
Customers are the #1 priority.
I really feel like they take care of me.
We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row.
We really appreciate the AARP discount.
AARP members get exclusive discounts.
It's easy to switch. You could use your own phone and you could use your own number.
Wild horses wouldn't drag me away from Consumer Cellular.
Go with Consumer Cellular.
You're going to save a lot of money.
Switch today. It's all backed by a 30-day risk-free guarantee. Call 1-800-368-8758. Go online or visit a Target store today.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid. Your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-319-0237.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-319-0237.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76-degree air temperature right now with a dew point to match, kind of a thick feel to the air out there. A lot of sunshine I think we'll be seeing today, a mix of sun and clouds and a daytime high temperature that tops out warm. 80 in Arcadia, Wauchula, 77 in Parrish, Bradenton at 75, 76 in Sarasota, Venice at 80, Northport at 80, Boca Grande at 83, Punta Gorda at 81. So taking a look at the flooding river forecasts at a couple of important locations. We'll go through them pretty quickly, but I do want to bring them out there for those folks for whom they are a concern. Peace River near Zolfo Springs is on the way down, significantly on the way down, so that's good news. Also, the Myakka River near Myakka River State Park is in the process of cresting and will be going down afterwards. However, I've been in communication with some people at the Myakka River Estates who tell me that sometimes in their location it can take another couple of days for the river to crest there, and they're preparing for perhaps another foot of water. So there's still some precaution that needs to be taken in that location near Moon and Brentwood, in that place that usually floods when you get high tides. I have also been told by emergency management and others that those areas in Northport where the Myakka River kind of funnels down there and you start to get some flooding that's ongoing, the situation is better there. So that's good news, but we'll continue to watch that river carefully. And then for the Peace River near Arcadia, on its way down. So good news there as well. I know there's some flooding in and around Zolfo Springs, as well as at some of the locations in Wauchula, especially in the trailer park near and behind the Walmart there in Wauchula. Hopefully your situation improving today. We're looking at a few scattered showers down around the Venice area. We've had a few up here in Bradenton near Lakewood Ranch. In the process of decay, these showers have a tendency to kind of die out as they get closer to land, and certainly once they're over land, they die out very quickly. We've gotten a little bit of moisture at mid and upper levels that kind of moved in during the last 24 hours. So the moisture has rapidly increased aloft, and so consequently we have a better chance of seeing some thunderstorms since the column of atmosphere is moistened. Thunderstorm chance today from the Severe Storm Prediction Center. We have about a 30% chance of rain, and I think most of the storms, if we see them, will be in inland areas. And again, the nature of these storms are going to be isolated thunderstorms, pockets of thunderstorms, and they'll be moving so quickly that I don't think they're going to appreciably add to the rainfall bucket and certainly not aggravate too much the river forecast. We're looking at these showers moving onshore during the afternoon, building inland, perhaps a few thunderstorms there, and then kind of dissipating in inland areas as we head into the evening. Tomorrow morning, I think we might see again a few showers right along the coastline, just as we saw this morning, and then the showers kind of redefine themselves in inland areas. We have some action in the tropics, which we'll talk about in the next half hour. For now, borders a northwest wind at about 5 to 10 will bring you smooth conditions on bay and inland waters with 2-foot seas. Forecast for the next couple of days calls for about what we're going to see today, which is a 30 to 40% chance of showers. And then we might have a couple of dry days starting the work week next week. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, John. Are you looking for a place to cool off? Well, the Red Cross has opened a cooling station and shelter in Northport. Doors are open this morning at the Mullen Community Center on Kramer Way. People are able to get free water and Wi-Fi, all while relaxing in air conditioning. The shelter will also act as a place to stay for people whose homes have been damaged or flooded. For those without power right now, they say this is really needed.
Only thing they have to do is come in and we register them and get them a cot, and we'll put them up for the night.
The center is open 8 in the morning until 8 in the evening each day.
St. Martha Catholic School is also open for those in need. The school is offering a hot meal, cold AC, and electricity. The school's cafeteria never lost power. Meals will be served from 4 p.m. until 7, and the school is located at the corner of Fruitville and McIntosh Roads in Sarasota.
Well, a wildlife center on the Suncoast is now asking for the community's help to treat some of the smaller victims of Hurricane Irma. The Wildlife Center of Venice says they have an increase of over 140 squirrel patients, and most of them are babies. That's not counting bunnies, birds, or any other wildlife that the center is caring for. The center is in desperate need of stackable clear totes with lids and no auto shut-off heating pads. These items are needed for the infant wildlife, and donations can be dropped off at the center, which is on Border Road.
I heard endless stories about baby squirrels being found as people cleaned up their debris, and then once they're have a human scent, the moms don't come back.
Oh, that's so
So they
sad.
definitely need to be rescued.
Well, we definitely have to remember our wildlife. We've talked about birds the past couple days, and dolphins and manatees, and now the little
Everybody
squirrels.
was impacted.
Yeah. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, the DREAM Act's fate is up in the air this morning.
We'll tell you why President Trump says there doesn't seem to be a deal in sight. Stay with us.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC 7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC 7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC 7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
As Hurricane-Irma tore through the Suncoast, ABC 7 First Alert Weather was here for you, tracking Hurricane-Irma on the all-new ABC 7 First Alert Weather app and sending push alert updates on the storm, providing life-saving tips and non-stop coverage on air, online, and on all your digital devices. Plus, we answered thousands of your questions during our Hurricane Helpline. We kept you informed every step of the way. ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you when you need us most.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC 7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC 7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
President Trump is traveling to Florida right now. This is his first visit since Hurricane Irma made landfall over the weekend. He arrives in Fort Myers at 10:40 this morning. He will then travel to Naples to speak with FEMA and first responders. Here was a look at the latest numbers across the state. About 1/3 of Florida's population is still without power. There are an estimated 6.8 million people waiting for the lights to come back on, and it could take 10 more days before everyone has power again. There are still more than 13,000 people in Florida shelters. We have a live team in Fort Myers, and we will hear from ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick coming up again this hour. Well, topping other headlines this morning, the so-called DREAM Act is no closer to getting revamped.
Initial reports this morning hinted that relief for undocumented young people might be coming soon. Recently, President Trump had dinner with top Democrats where a DACA deal was discussed. But this morning, the president says on Twitter, no deal. He posted, no deal was made last night on DACA. Massive border security would have to be agreed to be in exchange for consent.
An update now on a deadly school shooting. One student is dead after being shot by a classmate in Washington State. This happened yesterday at Freeman High School. According to investigators, a student came to school armed. Investigators say the first student shot did not survive. The gunman then walked down the hallway firing, striking 3 more students. Those students are now in the hospital and reportedly stable. Preliminary reports show that it might be a case of bullying. The suspect shooter is in custody.
The so-called Pharma Bro Martin Martin Shkreli is behind bars this morning. A judge revoked the former pharmaceutical CEO's bail after Shkreli offered a $5,000 reward to anyone who grabs a piece of Hillary Clinton's hair. He's now awaiting sentencing for a securities fraud conviction. And many of you may still have questions about that massive data breach at Equifax, but we could get some answers soon. The CEO of Equifax has been formally invited to testify on Capitol Hill next month. This comes after the company says a massive data breach exposed the personal information of 143 million Americans. Nearly 40 states have reportedly joined a probe of Equifax's handling of the cyber attack.
And it's just something else to worry about this week on top of the hurricane. Some people say you should go on and find out if your account was compromised. Other people say don't do that because you have to put your social security number in to find out.
Of course.
So
and then
I don't know the answer to that one. I did put mine in, so I guess we'll see what happens.
Well, let us know.
Yeah.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, Irma's impact on Florida's insurance market is still to be determined.
We'll tell you how much some experts say claims could reach in the days to come. Stay with us.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that, you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
It's a lot of fun. You got to come out.
We come down from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons: leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke is a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Happening right now, President Donald Trump is in the air on his way to Florida for the first time since Hurricane Irma hit the Sunshine State.
He's planning stops in both Fort Myers and Naples, which are two of the areas hit very hard by Irma. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick is live in Fort Myers waiting for the president. Good morning, Jess. When is the president expected to be there?
Good morning, Jacqueline and Stephanie. Well, right now I'm at the Southwest Florida International Airport, where President Donald Trump is expected to land around 10:40 this morning, and he will not be alone. First Lady Melania Trump will be with him, along with Vice President Mike Pence. Now, they will plan to travel to Naples to look and survey the area after Hurricane Irma went through. The trip comes just hours after President Trump expanded his major disaster declaration for Florida to include individual assistance for counties, including DeSoto and Hardee. Now, Manatee and Sarasota counties were already included. The money will reimburse local communities and the state government that are aiding in response and recovery after this storm. Now, President Trump said in a tweet yesterday that he will be meeting with the Coast Guard, FEMA, and first responders to observe the response to the damage. He will also stop in Naples and in Fort Myers. Now, this will be a very quick trip for the Trump administration. They are expected to land here again around 10:40, and then they'll be back on a plane here again at the Southwest Florida International Airport around 1:30 to head back to the White House. Jacqueline and Stephanie.
All right, thank you so much, Jess. Now, if you saw any damage during the storm, you can go ahead and register for FEMA assistance. You can register through the FEMA app on your phone or online at disasterassistance.gov. We made it easy for you and posted a direct link to apply on the My Suncoast website. You'll need to give them your address and private insurance information. It also helps to upload pictures and documents that support your application. FEMA will send you your application status updates by text or email. Also, if you have any questions, you can call FEMA at 1-800-462-7585. They have someone waiting to answer your calls from 7 o'clock in the morning until 11 at night.
The overall impact from Hurricane Irma to Florida's insurance market is still to be determined, but some estimates say insurance claims could top $40 billion. For comparison, Hurricane Andrew caused $26.5 billion worth of damage. Hurricane Charlie cost more than $16 billion to repair. Insurance experts say there will still be a substantial number of claims to come given the storm's path.
People are still returning to their homes to see what kind of damage they may have had. So it's pretty early to tell, but it's going to be billions of dollars. It's just so widespread. It will be probably one of the top disasters in U.S. history.
On Tuesday, Governor Scott ordered state regulators to freeze any and all efforts to increase property insurance rates as homeowners and businesses try to recover from Irma. We're going to take a look at our forecast now, I believe, where we continue to see warm temperatures. But
yes,
before we do that, those warm temperatures are meaning that a lot of people are dealing with hot conditions without power.
Certainly. Well, our Linda Carson is live at a comfort station. Linda, what exactly is a comfort station?
Comfort station is a place to escape this terrible heat. You know, a lot of us have been without electricity now since the storm hit, and you can come here finally and get all the things that you can't get if you don't have any electricity. The county and the Red Cross are opening these all across Sarasota County. The first one to open this morning, Robert L. Taylor, at 8 o'clock. It'll be open until 8 p.m. And I want you to meet two of the young men. They're 8 years old who came here. This is Kennedy and Avery Cole. So, how bad is it without electricity?
Oh, it's very bad. My family has been without electricity since Sunday, and I saw this graph right before the electricity went out, and it said Floridians fear most 2% fire ants, 2% snakes, but then it said 80% no air conditioning, and it's very harsh not to have any air conditioning. My mother and we're going on 120 hours.
Oh, well, let's
without
ask your brother now. What is it like here? You guys came here this morning. What is it like here?
Well, it's like you can charge your phones, get away from the hot air in your house. You can also get away from all these distractions that are distracting you at your house.
That's right. You can sit back, enjoy the air conditioning, and get some water and watch TV and just enjoy yourself for a minute. There are many of these open around Sarasota County. Church of the Palms opens at 9, Temple Sinai at 10, Unity Church also at 10. They're also going to be in Longboat Key, in Northport, Inglewood, and in Venice. Go on our website and you can see exactly where they are and get the addresses, because it's great just to sit here and relax and enjoy the air conditioning. Right, boys?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Back to you, Stephanie and Jacqueline.
All right, and I'm glad Linda's in there with new friends because she doesn't have any air either, right, Linda? Hang out with your new friends.
I have not. I have not had air since Sunday. My refrigerator is oozing strange-looking things now. And I walk into a room and turn on the lights, and I think I've got them. And please, guys, get out there. I know you're working so hard. We've got crews out all over, but we need our air conditioning back.
All right, I'm sure she is enjoying that comfort station more so than most people right now.
And we're so appreciative that area groups are opening up their centers so that people can stay cool. And those kids probably are ready to play some electronics, I would suspect.
Oh, I am sure. They were hilarious. They were great.
Very real, that's for sure. But the heat is very real as well. We're going to check in with meteorologist John Scalzi. And John, it sure felt a heck of a lot more humid this morning. I'm sure that's not helping.
It sure did. And you know what? I did, just to put everything in perspective, and especially my age, I was thinking, those two precocious, cute little kids, I'll challenge them to a game of checkers. And then you said, yeah, bring out the electronics, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, it is more humid out there. We have some more humidity that's moved in not only at mid-levels of the atmosphere, but at the surface it's a couple of degrees more humid in the dew point value as well. We have some cloud cover on our Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion. You can see it also turns from cloud cover to rain showers at one point as one storm moved on through. That's dissipated now, but we do still have some down near the Venice area. Cloud cover out in Gulf waters. Hopefully that'll bring a little more cloud cover to our area this afternoon and block some of the sun, but right now high pressure is forecast to win out. Those clouds forecast to mix away, and as our winds turn a little bit more westerly, perhaps we'll see some clouds building in inland areas. Speaking of clouds, large mass of clouds out in the Atlantic waters. In fact, yesterday that was actually a hurricane. Hurricane Jose was about 1,500 miles away. Now it's about 800 miles away. We'll update you on that in just a moment. There are those showers that I spoke about located down to our south. Again, that'll bring in a shower or two possibly over the next hour in the extreme southern parts of the viewing area. But again, these are not going to be heavy showers, so don't expect them to add to any of the problems with some of the area rivers and streams and just standing bodies of water in general. Otherwise, daytime highs top out in the upper 80s. It will be a steamy afternoon once again with high humidity and that chance of showers. Maybe the showers will break the heat a little bit. That would be my hope. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, John. And we are getting more information out of Hollywood, Florida, where state officials are demanding an investigation into the deaths of 8 nursing home residents yesterday.
Heat and humidity have set in there after Hurricane Irma knocked out much of the power in the area. Elizabeth Cohen has that story.
The call for help came in at 3 o'clock Wednesday morning. An elderly resident at this Hollywood, Florida nursing home having a heart attack.
As we arrived on the scene with our fire rescue crews, we saw that there were a number of people in respiratory distress and other distress.
3 people were found dead in the nursing home. 5 more people died after they were evacuated to a nearby hospital. The cause of death still under investigation. The nursing home says its air conditioning system lost power after Hurricane Irma struck on Sunday. Portable AC units were being used, but the facility was excessively hot, according to city officials.
Once we determined that we had multiple deaths at the facilities and that the facilities are extremely hot, we made the decision to evacuate all of the patients.
Fire and rescue teams mobilizing 9 rescue units. This blue tent erected to triage evacuating residents, 158 patients, some critically in need of care. They were transported to local hospitals.
Most of the patients have been treated for respiratory distress, dehydration, and heat-related issues.
Police so far declining to say just how hot it was inside the nursing home. In a statement, the Rehabilitation Center at Hollywood Hills said facility administration is cooperating fully with relevant authorities to investigate the circumstances that led to this unfortunate and tragic outcome. Our hearts go out to the families and friends of those who were affected. Elected officials now asking questions.
People are just absolutely shocked that someone in a staff would not know enough that a frail elderly person is dying of heat exhaustion and would at least know to dial 911. This is what is inexcusable.
The building now sealed off as police conduct a criminal investigation inside.
It's a sad event. As a precautionary measure, we've assigned police officers to go check all the other 42 assisted living facilities and nursing homes throughout the city to make sure that they're in sufficient care of the elderly.
Approximately 150 nursing homes in Florida still don't have power fully restored, virtually all of them relying on generators to meet the needs of residents under their care. Elizabeth Cohen, CNN, Hollywood, Florida.
Well, that wait for power also continues at a Sarasota nursing home, and residents are now dreading the heat. Alderman Oaks residents are trying to make the most of it as the power has been out since they returned from evacuating on Monday.
This has been going on since we had the mandatory evacuation, which we did. We came back here, I believe it was on Monday, and this is what we've had ever since. And it hasn't been, my thermostat was 85 tonight when the last time I looked at it, so it isn't comfortable.
There are 40 residents at the retirement center who chose to stay put, and for now they're spending time playing cards during the day to help keep their minds off the heat.
While millions wait for power companies to restore service throughout the state, there are increasing concerns about the danger of the misuse of generators. In Bonita Springs, 20 people, including 13 children, were hospitalized for possible carbon monoxide poisoning. And in Orlando, a generator running in a family's garage is blamed for the death of 3 family members.
Well, because of hurricanes Irma and Harvey, our blood supply on the Suncoast is at a critically low level. The blood bank is now back open, but because the center has been unable to collect blood and platelets since September 8th, the supply is dangerously low. The 2 things most desperately needed: O-negative blood and platelets. Now, platelets only last for 5 days and are desperately need replenishment. The Suncoast Blood Bank and Sarasota Memorial Hospital are teaming up for a community-wide blood drive today and tomorrow. It'll be held at the ballroom at Michael's on East, and it's going until 6 o'clock tonight and again tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Another sign the Suncoast is slowly getting back to normal. SCAT buses are running again today. The Sarasota County Area Transit is back to full service and running routes as normal. And so important for people who want to get somewhere cool too and don't have transportation.
Of course.
The bus is now a good option for you. Still to come in your Suncoast news, the infamous Hemingway cats weathered the storm from their home on Key West.
We'll tell you how they're doing today and why these felines are so special when we come back.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
It brings everybody together. I feel more resilient. I want to watch out more for storms and be more prepared.
Lessons learned. Has Hurricane Irma changed the way you prepare for a storm and how serious you take the warnings? I'm Alan Cohn. Lessons learned and planning for the future on the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
I love taking care of my mom.
It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're watching an air temperature of 78 degrees and a dew point to match give us 100% relative humidity. So it's thick, it's humid outside. A few fair weather clouds and a few places that are seeing a little bit of patchy drizzle, but nothing heavy across the region. 81 Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, 79 Parrish, 77 in Bradenton, 78 Sarasota, and 82 degrees at Boca Grande. You can see a few scattered showers along our coast moving onshore, actually getting pretty close to anywhere from Inglewood down south toward the mouth of Charlotte Harbor. A larger mass of clouds out here in the Gulf producing a lot more showery activity. But I'll tell you what, one of the things is that from this distance out, the radar beam is looking very high up in the air. So a lot of what you're seeing there is cloud water and not even reaching the ground. But there are some significant showers and thunderstorms out in the Gulf. Don't think we'll see a lot of that around here. They should dissipate as we head into the morning hours. Few scattered showers, as I mentioned, just off the coast of Inglewood, producing about a 20%, 30% chance of a shower along the coastline over the next couple of hours. Then as we head into the afternoon, those showers will tend to build in inland areas, and that's where they'll stay till tomorrow morning when we'll see some redevelop along the immediate coastline. Have some activity further out in Atlantic waters. High pressure off the Atlantic coast, nosing in over the state. A little bit of moisture has filtered in at mid-levels, and there's Jose. Jose continues to spin. More about that in a second. For us, sea breezes will develop, creating a shower chance, especially in inland areas. Rain chance in inland areas, probably 40 or 50%. Closer to our coastline, about 30% or so. Now, those showers in inland areas particularly, and by that I mean Highlands County and up through Orlando, will probably be slow movers, so they'll kind of rain out in place. But the total rainfall amount's not going to be that great because the nature of these storms will be isolated pockets of them. Looking for better rain chances today than yesterday, partly sunny skies, and in that afternoon, west wind with the sea breeze. Okay, tropics active out there. We're looking at Jose, of course. We just mentioned that near Florida. But then there are two other areas of concern. Hurricane Center is watching with a 30 to 40% chance of development over 5 days. Next few days won't show much development, but when we come back here next week, we may have named storms or at least developed storms to talk about, particularly this one as it moves off to the west. Next named storm will be called Lee, by the way. So here's Jose. Jose looking pretty symmetric and, full of life this morning with some good explosions of thunderstorm, but still undergoing a little more shearing than it did just a few days ago. All forecast models take this storm toward the East Coast, then boom, give it a right turn out into open waters of the Atlantic. This has been a trend over several days. There's high confidence in this forecast. But that said, with 75-mile-an-hour winds, we'll be watching it pretty carefully as we get into the weekend. We want to make sure that when it gets about there, it makes that turn toward the northeast and then carries out into the open waters. There may be some redevelopment up here as conditions might be more favorable, and they could get some swells across the North Carolina coast. We'll watch for that. Otherwise, a northwest wind at about 5 to 10 will give you smooth conditions on bay and inland waters and 2-foot seas. In the week ahead, seasonable chances of rain, seasonable afternoon temperatures, maybe a couple drier days next week. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. The U.S. Virgin Islands took a direct hit from Hurricane Irma, and that damage is already being described as catastrophic.
It could be months or even longer before the islands are able to recover. CNN's Sarah Sidner has a closer look at what's left.
On St. John, the smallest of the 3 major islands and arguably most ruggedly beautiful, Hurricane Irma swept away life as we knew it.
There's nothing left.
Nearly 30 square miles of island wiped out.
I was in our sheltered hurricane anchorage called Hurricane Hole. There was about, I would guess, about 200 boats out there in all.
Wait, you were on a boat?
I was on my boat, yeah.
Hey, how did you survive in a boat of all places?
I was lucky. A lot of the boats sunk.
It took life here as well. The struggle for survival crushing, the suffering endless. Most of the inhabitants on this island lost what little they had. Most have no means to rebuild without a Herculean relief effort. So nothing has been left untouched here.
Yeah, just about everything being touched.
Help is on the way, but it has taken far too long, nearly a week for it to arrive.
A week ago today, it was all going down, man.
But relief is only trickling in here instead of flooding in. The reason for that is twofold. Communications is nearly impossible here, and security is precarious. Crime has shot up, residents say. A dangerous desperation has emerged as human beings try to get their needs met by any means necessary. A few miles away on another island, more tragedy.
It's hard to get food, water, gas. It took us 3 hours just to get ice. And the mosquitoes, and I'm worried about diseases. I don't know if I can do it.
In St. Thomas, the stunning landscape that attracts tourists from around the world is decimated.
You getting hungry? I'll have some water for you.
The sheer force of sustained winds at tornadic speeds turned this island inside out in spots. There is a telltale sign that the eye wall of a Category 4 or 5 has hit, and it's this. There are no leaves on the trees. With wind speeds up to 185 miles an hour, the hurricane has stripped every branch on this island bare. From St. John to St. Thomas, there is no end to the destruction. Right now, in much of the Caribbean, life is anything but paradise. Sarah Seidner, CNN, St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Certainly some devastating videos there. Well, the historic Ernest Hemingway home on Key West and the 54 cats that live there have survived Hurricane Irma. Many of the cats at the late writer's home are descendants of his original cat. Interestingly enough, most of the cats are polydactyl, meaning that they have more toes than a regular cat. So most of them at the Hemingway home have 6 or 7 toes on each foot. Now, last week, as the storm approached, a full evacuation was ordered for the Florida Keys, but the general manager of the Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum would not comply, instead staying to help the property and cats through Irma. The New York Times reports that the curator says the cats were not hurt and the home was not damaged in the storm. I've still yet to see those cats. I've been meaning to go out to Key West and, visit the Hemingway house and see those cats with their creepy little toes.
Well, it'll be a while now, but I think those cats definitely lost a couple of their 9 lives during that storm. Well, still to come in your Suncoast news, some residents in the Florida Keys are not letting a little damage deter them from taking a dip.
We'll tell you where they're catching some sun, all where Irma's dangerous path was last week. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Even though the Florida Keys were certainly devastated by Hurricane Irma, there are people there still trying to make the best of it and have a good time.
Check out this picture of swimmers cooling off in the water right next to wrecked boats and wrecked houses. Now, FEMA says 90% of the homes in the Keys are damaged or destroyed, but residents are slowly returning. I could not even imagine.
And beating the heat, too, you know,
exactly.
in the swimming pool, and that's maybe why they're actually doing it.
It'll be weeks before they get any AC around there.
Of course.
If weeks, probably. Could be
I'm
longer.
sure.
Yeah.
But and we had mentioned that we're hearing of relief flights. I've heard about it from Lakeland. I'm sure it'll start to happen in other places of the state, bringing supplies to the Keys. But John, you mentioned it's going to be hard to get planes in and out of there.
I'm wondering how they're going to do it. I mean, maybe they'll fly, you know, close by and helicopter in. Maybe they've made it a point. Of course, they got the naval base down there. Maybe they made it a point.
Well, everybody will be in our
out.
thoughts and prayers as recovery continues. We will have more coming up today at Suncoast News at noon.